Hey guys, Matt Allen here. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin. The fall transition is in full swing and we are headed out on the water. Let's go fishing. The fall transition is in full swing here. Back when the cool nights began, the grass in this lake started dying back. There's a lot of grass in here. This is actually a pretty shallow fishery. It maxes out at like 15 or 18 feet, but a lot of the lake is in that like 5 to 8 range. So when the grass starts dying back, the fish immediately go to any remaining cover, any remaining structure. So they're gonna get on, there's some like scattered reeds. There's a lot of these like laid down overhanging trees. There's a lot of docks. In this lake, a lot of the best fish will scoot right up shallow. I just know that from history. So we're gonna go after those shallow fish today. I'm starting out with the jig because when I start thinking shallow fall transition bass, a jig is the first thing on my mind. I tied on a couple of topwaters, some reaction baits. We've got more wind than I was expecting. I think it'll actually help us, but it might kind of kill that topwater bite. We'll start with the jig. We'll adapt as we go. I'm really looking forward to this.
There's one.
Nice fish. Nice fish on the jig. Nice fish on the jig. Right up under that dirt shallow tree. I mean, I'm talking less than a foot of water. It is so awesome when they get up on this stuff. I love this pattern.
There's one.
Beautiful fish. Right off the inside of edge of a dock there. He's sitting right in the shadow line. So these fish, I mean, it's cool, it's overcast, it's windy. They're obviously not sitting in the shade because it's hot, right? That ship has sailed. They're sitting in that shade because that's where they can ambush from. The water is pretty clear. There's not much grass. They need somewhere to hide to attack from. That's why they're so shallow. The end of that dock is like 2.5 feet deep, but that's their best option. And I love doing this because if we had come here a month or two ago, we'd be out here fan casting open water over miles of grass, trying to call fish to us. But once that grass dies back, these fish slide right up on this cover and I can almost call my shot. It's awesome. Let's keep going.
Ooh. Missed him. Big fish, big fish. Try and feed it back. He came back for it. Yes.
That was awesome. So I threw under that dock, got bit, missed it, and the fish followed out. Again, clear, shallow water. I can see. I pitched ahead of him out on the sand. He ran over there and tagged that jig. We're not 15 minutes into our day right now. My trailer got tore up, so I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. This is the X-Zone Adrenaline Craw. It's the smaller one. This is the Dirty Jigs Compact Pitch and Jig, the smaller one. That allows me to go to lighter line. Again, clear water, lighter line. I'm throwing 15-pound leader to 40-pound braid. This is a Dobbins Ecstasy series. I'm using a high-end rod. This is the 755. The Dobbins, I grew up, my favorite jig rod years ago when Tactical began, frankly, was the Dobbins Champion It wasn't even called a Champion XP. It wasn't any, it was just Champion Series. 765 flip. This rod, the 755 Ecstasy, it's got that slower taper. It's got everything I like in a jig rod with extreme sensitivity. I've got that Abu Garcia, that Zenon on there. I'll link all this stuff in the description, but I just thought I'd show you while I'm rigging it back up. Again, compact pitch and jig, smaller trailer. I should have told you, there's not a lot of big fish in this lake. So I've been here like 2 or 3 other times through the years. Biggest fish I've ever seen in this lake are like high 3s. There's just not a lot of giants. There's piles of these like 6 to 9 inch bass. We're not seeing that, right? We're catching better than that. That's because once this transition happens, the best fish take the best cover. So when we're shooting at this obvious stuff, we're aiming at some of the best fish in the lake, which is just awesome. Let's keep going.
You gotta be kidding me. Next dock, next fish. That is amazing. What a pattern.
Look, he's got those pretty black fin tips. What a cool fish. Thank you, my friend. Next dock, next fish. Awesome. Just awesome.
Golly. Get out of that dock. Got him. Gosh, that's fun. 2 in a row off the same one.
I love it. Guys, I'm pretty sure we could do this all day. We could just blast and blast and blast them. But why don't we see what else we can catch them on? I've got a lot of other fun stuff tied on. Maybe we'll even cross over to the calm side of the lake, see if they'll eat topwater. I don't know. Let's just try something else. If it doesn't work, we'll come back to the jig and bang on them again. It was probably a guarantee that the Senko was gonna catch him. But that's more of what we're used to seeing in this lake, a lot of small ones. But we'll pitch the Senko around a little more, see if we can get a good one on it. There's a little piece of brush right there, like a laid down tree. It's close enough to these docks, I'd imagine somebody put it in there because it's in such shallow water. That guy was hiding in that wood. Took a shot at that Senko. They seem to be eating the jig and the Senko the same, but the fish do seem to be a little bigger on the jig. So I'm going back to the jig. This time I put a Damiki air craw on there. That's a bait that I use a lot of times as we go into winter. Helps the jig stand up. But under these docks, where I'm just trying to capture their attention, I think that might help. Let's find out. Instant. Golly. It's the first cast with that compact pitch and jig with that air crawl on there. These fish are on the jig. That's awesome. What an awesome day. Oh, geez, what a bite. That was awesome. That's the first one that was away from the docks. I'm just out on the edge of a point. Giant Dog X. That's that spotlight shad. One of the colors that Tim and I got to work on along with Mega Bass. Nice fish. That is such a confidence color of mine. Chrome sides, a little bit of that blue purple back. Deadly topwater. Oh, that was amazing. I was burning it out of the grass. I saw this fish chasing. There was just the faintest bit of grass left on this corner. I got caught up in it, so I was burning it out. This bass came charging after it. As soon as I paused it, he inhaled it. Nice fish. Smoked that senko. They cannot resist it. Let's catch a few more and then let's sit down. I'll walk you through the gear I'm using. I'm using some different gear today. I'm using some high-end gear. I'll walk you through the baits and the gear. Let you check it all out. Golly, that fish is angry. I was already looking to my next target, but that senko was coming through a log out there on the bottom. That one found it. Nice. Got him. Whoa, geez, that fish hit hard. I was dragging the jig out of that dock. That one came and got it. Nice fish. Just dragging that compact pitching jig. I'm sure that little air craw had the back end of that thing stood up off the bottom. He smoked it. That was fun. So many people struggle during the fall transition. It can be amazing. I mean, this is as fun as it gets. Catching them on topwater, catching them on the senko, getting them on the jig. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. So these fish, one after another, have been crushing the jig. I get to this dock right here and I missed 3 in a row. So sometimes that'll play in your head, right? Why this dock? I don't know, maybe it's because the sun popped out, it's a little bit brighter. I don't know, maybe it's because it's calmer on this side of the lake. But I went ahead and cut off the jig we've been throwing the whole time. I put on a Finesse jig, Finesse cut jig. Same air craw, first cast, fish in the boat. I think there's something to it. Even when you're dialed, even when they're smashing it, Pay attention to those details and make little adjustments.
Way back up. Got him. Golly, that's fun.
Oh, that's a good time. Perfect cast. Way back in the shadow. Fish in the boat. This tree is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Comes out off the bank farther than the rest. It's got a little shadow on the end. I mean, look at this. It's just a mud bottom. Look over here. There's a log. Crystal clear, like 3 feet deep. Up there by that tree, maybe 2 foot, maybe. But that shadow is all they need to ambush. Let's try it. Got him. That is so predictable, it's crazy. Golly, that's fun. Right where he should have been, up under the end of that tree. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this one up here. This was just a few short hours. I don't know that we were on the water 3.5 hours, but we caught a pile of fish and I'm gonna get back on the road. But this was a riot. Seriously, this is about as good as it gets. The only thing I could think that would be better is if I was catching them on like a Karashi on BFS and it was the same class of fish. I mean, this was fun. I said in the beginning, you know, I've never really run into good fish on this lake. This is just a place I've stopped a time or two when I was on the road. So I wasn't expecting giants. So I threw a lot of high-end gear in the boat today because I wanted to have extra fun. So that Senko, I was throwing that on a world class, a Fenwick world class. It's a 7-foot medium heavy fast. Had that on the Zenin MG LTX, straight 12-pound fluoro, right? I felt like I could do battle with 12-pound. I could get them out of there. Super sensitive combo, unbelievably lightweight combo. Just as fun as it gets. I mean, the Senko, 5-inch Yamamoto Senko, green pumpkin black flake, Gamakatsu Superline EWG 3/0. Like, I don't know that it gets any more core of bass fishing than that right there. I mean, it catches them. That's all there is to it. And it caught them today. Those topwater fish on that Giant Dog X, that collaboration color that we did with Mega Bass. And I mean, again, high-end tackle, right? We're throwing this on an NRX 843C MBR. The beauty of those MBRs is you can get them through the entire G Loomis lineup. The MBR stands for Mag Bass Rod. The 843 in any line is my favorite topwater rod. I've got that paired up to that little Metanium DC 70. That 70 size of that Met is amazing. I mean, this thing just casts for miles. Throws that thing so far out there. It's just unreal. Such a comfortable combo. Unbelievably lightweight, unbelievable distance, even with a lighter topwater like a Giant Dog X. And those bites today were just explosive on that spotlight shad. So much fun. And then last was the jig. We already talked about that combo. That's that Dobbins. Again, that Ecstasy, I almost said extreme, the Ecstasy series, that 755. So a 7.5 power is what that means. And again, this is like a high-end jig rod version of the jig rod I used 15 to 20 years ago. Just a phenomenal rod. I'm always looking for higher end jig rods, and I was really happy with this one today. Again, with a Zenin X on there. And then the jigs, I used 2 jigs, 2 trailers, right? We used that compact pitch and jig, and then at the end, it was the Finesse jig with either that X-Zone craw or that Demiki craw, that air craw there. Either one. I mean, it just seemed like when I got around them, they bit. Super fun fishing, fun ways to catch them, with a really fun gear. I mean, today was great. I hope you guys enjoyed coming along. I'll link everything in the video description for you. If you're not on the water this time of year, you're missing out. I mean, that's all there is to it. A lot of people skip fall transition because they don't understand it. Look how this went. We blasted them. And I mean, for this lake, we caught big ones too. Just an awesome time. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you soon.